Welcome back, everybody. This is Question Mark,
And I'm Ame.
and we are back continuing with the tier list of all the potential commanders from the Marvel Super Heroes set that are not in the standard set and not in the commander decks.
Because we're crazy.
Yeah, I also found out that there's one more product that has commanders in it that we are including here, and
Oh.
that's the beginner's box.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's the welcome decks. They're supposed to be given out for free to people to show them what Magic is like. They're like 30 card decks. They include a rare one of these like one of each color is in there. But also the beginner's box is a like collection in a box that includes things from standard and a handful of legendary creatures, I guess, and some of them are unique to that, including I believe Iron Man Tony Stark here, which I thought is quite good.
all right. Shall we
Yeah.
get to it? How much do we have left?
Oh, a bit, but we are picking up on Peggy Carter, Secret Agent, right here, an uncommon.
For 1 mana and a white, you get a 2/1 human spy hero. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains indestructible until end of turn. Oh, I like that.
Yes,
Go forth and kick ass.
it's a good effect, but that's not enough for a commander. She just doesn't have enough going on. Attacking alone is also a drawback, but Spy is kind of a mechanic starting in this set. Hero certainly is. Human certainly is. Attacking alone is something that you actually strangely can find a fair bit of in white now, but still, I think you don't want her as the commander. I think you want her as a sidekick.
She'd be good in a go tall deck.
Kind of, especially if the thing that your commander is bad at is not dying. So maybe around here, like if your commander is a creature that includes white and also has like a low toughness, then Peggy would be great. Yeah, so maybe even with like the classic Rafik.
Rafiki.
Close, not the one from Lion King. Rafik of the Many. Could you read this one for us?
Let's see. For 1 mana, green, white, and blue, you get a 3/3 human knight with Exalted. That is, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, the creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Oh, get those two in the same deck. That would be great.
Yeah, it would be solid in a Rafik of the Many deck.
Hang on, is this the guy you based that one D&D character on?
A little bit. He is from Bant, and my D&D character is also from Bant, so they are very similar. In fact, I believe I said that Rafik of the Many is like the hero that many Bant knights look up to as the ideal. It's him and Elspeth. Those are the two like best champions. And yeah, he's from Bant, where you get medals whenever you kind of like save a town or something, and he's got more than anybody.
Got it. I understand your character a little more, and I just think that's fun.
And also a classic commander from when Commander was new. This guy is way above curve for when he was first printed back in 2008. But honestly, I think he's still pretty good. I would actually probably enjoy building a Rafik of the Many deck today, and Peggy Carter and some of her like might go in it. Next on the list, and I've got to make sure to keep referring back to this list because I was unable to exclude the commander deck cards from my Scryfall search.
If you've been following us, you know that already.
Yep, I don't know how many parts we're on right now for this, and I don't care. But next is Pharaoh Rama Tut.
I don't know who this person is.
I think this is one of the many alternate versions of Kang.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 alternate versions that we'll see here, but...
Well, one of the fun things about Kang is that he can pop up anywhere at any time. You can say, who the hell was that? Oh, it was a Kang. God damn it. Anyway, for 4 mana and a blue, you get a 4/4 human noble villain with Ward 2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Pharaoh Ramatut connives. That's drawing a card, discarding a card, and if you discarded a non-land, put a 1/1 counter on the creature.
Honestly, I'm gonna try to make some more snap decisions here on where to put them whenever possible. I think this is kind of good, like maybe around here, because casting non-creature spells is pretty easy. Conniving means drawing cards and discarding cards. You can benefit from the draw part. You can benefit from the discard part. You can benefit from the +1/+1 counterpart. A 4/4 is a pretty large size to begin with, and it has the significant defensive ability of Ward 2. I'm not sure how you win with this deck exactly, and you're in mono blue, but did I put him in wild card? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's where he belongs. He needs some support, and you do need to go out of your way a bit. But maybe the non-creature spells that you're casting are things like, I think it's Shadow Rift. I hope that's the name of the card. Yes, like this. If you could read it for us.
Target creature gains shadow until end of turn. It can block or be blocked by only other creatures with shadow. Draw a card.
Yeah, an
And that's
instant
for one mana.
So
That's for one blue.
yeah. So you could absolutely be conniving with Pharaoh Ramatut whenever you cast these little spells, these little cantrips that draw cards, so that they're replacing themselves. Maybe even ones that untap your mana, anywhere from the nearly fair turnabout, which you can choose land and then tap all the untapped permanents of the chosen type that someone controls, or untap all the tap permanents of that type that player controls. So super versatile card, but you can use it on yourself. If you have at least 4 lands, then it says basically you just put 4 mana in and then you get more than 4 mana out. So that's another way of just continuing to cycle through stuff with Pharaoh Ramatut. So this is the nearly fair version because it's incredibly versatile. You can tap down all of your opponent's lands during their upkeep. You can tap down all of your opponent's creatures during combat. Artifacts are also a thing you can touch. But then there's some unfair versions of it, like Reset. Can you read that one for us?
Cast reset only during an opponent's turn after their upkeep step. Untap all lands you control.
Yeah, so this is half the cost for untapping all your stuff, and it was only ever printed once physically back in Legends in 1994. It's not on the reserved list?
It says it's also in Mystery Booster 2.
Oh, you're right. Okay, Mystery Booster 2 was a physical release. Okay, and it's only $3.50 there? Okay, well then, yeah, not on the reserved list. They printed it 2 years ago. This is a incredibly powerful card for any like mono blue deck that wants to be doing shenanigans on other people's turns. So yeah, Pharaoh Ramatut. I think the plan is just connive, get this guy's counters up, and then have plenty of cards like that Shadow Rift that make him hard to block, and you've got a solid deck, I think.
That is such a sloppy pose for a pharaoh. I mean, I expect my pharaohs to be like sitting upright, maybe crossing their ankle over their knee, looking very serious. This guy just looks like a slob, and I kind of want Moon Knight to kick his ass.
Yeah, maybe he will. As we go on to Photon, Lady of Light.
3 mana and a white mana get you a 3/3 human hero with flying. Whenever Photon attacks, exile up to one other target creature you control, and then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control.
Oh no. Okay. So I've been brainstorming a deck around a weird card called the Neutrinos. Let's
Wow,
see.
I'm getting Watchmen flashbacks.
Oh. So in the Neutrinos, it's a 4 mana commander that includes white. They are flying. Well, okay, 3/3, 2/4, whatever. When the Neutrinos attack, when Photon attacks, exile up to one target creature you own, then return to the battlefield under your control. Oh, I'm sorry, tapped and attacking. Then return to the battlefield under its opponent's control. Okay, so this not only returns the creature to the battlefield tapped and attacking, but also has that alliance trigger, so whenever another creature enters the Neutrinos, get +1/+0 until end of turn, and allows you to play red. I've been brainstorming a deck with this, and unfortunately, I found multiple infinite combos.
Oops.
Yep. I was aiming to build a bracket 2 deck around an uncommon weirdo from TMNT, And then I found Aurelia, the war leader. There, this one, because it says whenever it attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So you attack with her, you queue up a second combat, then what's their names? The neutrinos, blink them, return her to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Now she's forgotten that it's the first time that she's attacked that turn.
Oh
And then
no.
you start your second combat where she attacks again, triggers another new combat. The neutrinos flicker her ad nauseum. So, does Photon solve the problem because it doesn't include red?
Or tapped and attacking?
Or tapped and attacking? I mean, probably. Probably this commander becomes a little on the boring side. Because also, neutrinos being in red, you can have creatures leave the battlefield and return to the battlefield and, like, do some damage to your opponents. Perforos and impact tremors and stuff like that. But in this deck, what do you do with those creatures that flicker? Flicker more? Gain some life? Destroy an enchantment? I don't know. You might be able to make some creature tokens. That might be your best bet. That you could flicker, I don't know, mere battle sphere or something? Because when this...
Na 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 na
Katamari Damashi. Yeah, because when this enters, you create 4 mirror. So you can flicker stuff like Mirror Battlesphere and just get more and more mirror. I don't know. So I'm going to put her in wild card and further down near the bottom.
Fun fact, Photon is one of the many characters that's taken on the title of Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, if you saw the movie The Marvels, she's one of the 3.
I just saw her from this one very particular New Mutants comic.
Oh.
It was the one where they had that misadventure with Impossible Man, actually.
Huh. Okay. Well, next on our list is Quicksilver Pietro Maximoff.
Cute.
Oh no, it's a common one. Well, that's not a good sign. What does it do?
Fun artwork, though, and they let him have his snazzy outfit.
Yeah, he's running straight up the side of a building?
Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah, okay.
For 2 mana and a red, you get a 3/2 mutant hero with haste.
And that's it.
I must be going now. This has all been extraordinarily tedious. Couldn't agree more. You're
Yep,
going probably into the rejects.
you are. There's no reason to play this as your commander. There's no reason to play this in the 99. Even if you're doing mutants, even if you're doing heroes, having haste is not good enough, fails the vanilla test. Haste is only relevant the turn that it enters, and it's probably least relevant on a creature with 3 or less power and no abilities, so
Yeah.
you don't really have a place in Commander. As we move on to Radioactive Man. Okay.
Well, this guy is never getting anywhere is never getting a date.
Yeah, also his sneak is massively penalized.
For 4 mana and a black, you get a 3/5 human scientist villain with Death Touch. Whenever Radioactive Man deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life, rounded up.
Oh, well. Now that's a legit threat. Okay. I'm gonna say right off the bat, I think he also goes into wild cards. Certainly higher than the last one, but maybe around here.
If you're going to build a deck around him, I would think that you'd want to build the deck around clearing the way for him to hit a player.
Yeah.
You want him to bypass the battlefield. You want him going straight for the heart.
Mm-hmm. And part of the trick is, he's 5 mana. People are going to see him in the command zone. So they're going to know this guy's coming well ahead of time. So first off, you want to get him out early, and black is the color to do it. So classic time to bust out your Dark Ritual.
Dark Ritual!
Yep, you can get him out 2 turns early with this. If you can lay down some haste, that'll be really good. Everybody knows about Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves. I keep wanting to remind people about Lava Spur Boots. a card that has been printed one time. I really hope it gets reprinted because Ward 1 and Haste and +1/+0 is a pretty good combination, especially with only a casting cost of 1 and an equip cost of 1.
I'd be surprised if it didn't get a subsequent printing. I think this is one of the most popular cards from that set.
Probably from that set, and personally, I keep putting in deck after deck after deck, but it has been a couple of years and they haven't reprinted it yet, so I don't know. I hope that they do start reprinting it closer to Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots. There are other ways, although most of them aren't red, or sorry, a lot of them are red. I think there's a Chariot. Would the Chariot be good with this guy? Okay, so 3 mana for an equipment is a little hefty, but if you have to wait until turn 5 for this guy to come out, or maybe you've only ramped 1 turn, this is not that bad. And this gives First Strike, Trample, and Haste.
You want him to hit the ground running once he gets out.
The Haste is what we were mainly looking for. The Trample means that you're more likely to still deal combat damage to a player even if they have a blocker. And with First Strike, you will almost 100% do that because you only have to assign 1 damage to each blocker in order to trample over for the excess, and their blocker will die before they get a chance to deal damage back to Radioactive Man.
So yeah, your deck is going to be built around getting this guy to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, so the worst problem I think this guy faces, other than the fact that he comes out on turn 5 and all that, is that he has competition. I'm trying to remember... He has actually a fair bit of competition. There are a number of creatures now that say, like, when you hit someone, they lose half their life. And some of them are cheaper than Radioactive Man. Let's see. I want to see if I can find one real quick. Including this color, creature, legendary, and let's just do the, player loses half their life rounded up. Okay. And I know there's going to be a few, but it'll narrow it down at least to, okay. Yeah. Virtus the Veiled is who I was thinking of. Because Virtus the Veiled is a 3 mana Death Toucher who does this. So you can get it out way faster. And he has partner with Gorm the Great, which means that Gorm the Great, being a green creature, means that you're playing a black and green deck with 2 commanders.
Ooh.
That is a huge benefit. Not only are you playing a 98 card deck instead of a 99, you get access to a second color for all kinds of versatility. You can play one and then the other. They can protect each other, because if he attacks, he must be blocked. So that means that people might not be able to block Virtus. So I think they're a better combination. Dark Leo and Shredder are actually awesome. But you do have to have 5 or more ninjas, but I think this is a really cool commander. Yeah, so there's competition. He's arguably the worst because, these other ones also are 5 mana. So I think he belongs where he's at. And if you are particularly interested in this green glowing monster guy, then you can do it, but you might be better suited with some other commanders that already exist if you just care about the effect.
Just don't give him a hug.
No. You will get cancer. Reed Richards' Smartest Man. Ah, okay. What does he do?
For 5 mana and a blue, you get a 2/4 human scientist hero with reach. You have no maximum hand size. The first time you would draw a card each turn, except the first card you draw during each of your draw steps, you draw 4 cards instead.
4? 4? Woo, okay. I mean, look, 6 mana for a 2/4 with reach is terrible. But this ability is nuts. Alright, so you're playing a mono blue deck. It's going to be a little difficult to get up to 6. But you could do it. One of the things you might want to play in a deck like this is High Tide. I've seen it's mostly like experienced players that I've seen who know that this card exists. Why don't you read it for us?
Until end of turn, whenever a player taps an island for mana, that player adds an additional blue.
Yep. So it effectively doubles your blue mana for a turn, and it's good in a Spellslinger deck, but it also means that if you have 4 islands, you can tap one of them for High Tide, and the other 3 for 6 mana and cast Reed Richards. So that's pretty good. And then any card draw that you do is quadruple card draw. I mean, you're gonna be just absolutely in control of the game after that point.
I would argue that his only weakness is that he helps you with card draw and nothing else.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm still gonna put him in wild card, probably up around here, because this is an incredibly powerful effect in colors that can't get him down quickly, other than a couple of tricks. He might be better in the 99 in certain decks. Like if you're playing blue-green, this guy probably goes hard. Because you can ramp with the green and then get him out a couple turns early, have some kind of Simic deck where you're drawing cards, and then he supercharges it. And then, of course, the things that you draw are more likely to be things that do damage.
It feels like he should be part of the plan, but not the primary part of the plan.
Yeah, I still think that he...
This guy ain't the tip of the spear.
I still think that he could be a commander. I'm still thinking wild card, but I think that, actually, you know what? No, I think you're right. Sidekick. But he's a really good one. You could play him as your commander, but honestly, there aren't many cards like High Tide that'll get you out fast enough to be relevant. And if you're playing mono blue, you're drawing all these cards. What are you doing with them other than like tapping down all your opponent's stuff or bouncing all your opponent's stuff or just drawing more cards? You need a way to actually win the game, and I think that that is going to be better in the 99. So thanks for kind of guiding me to that one.
No worries. Exciting effects are exciting.
Next we have Rhino, Terrible Trampler. Oh good, they gave him Trample. But what else does he do?
For 4 mana and 2 green, you get a 7/6 human villain with trample. When Rhino enters, destroy target artifact or land. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 other target creatures. They gain trample until end of turn. He breaks something, possibly somewhere, and then he gets a little trample buddy.
Yeah, honestly, this seems pretty solid for a pretty good Stompy deck. It always bugs me that Rhino is not of the creature type Rhino, because the people who are designing these sets have done their research and they know that Rhino hasn't like genetically modified himself to be biologically part Rhino. It's a suit that he puts on. Spider-Man, yes, he does have a suit that he puts on, but the radioactive spider bite changed his DNA. He is part spider.
Yeah. He is a little spidery. He came by that one honestly.
So as you look through the various heroes and villains, you'll see some like Dr. Octopus. He's not creature type octopus because he doesn't have octopus like DNA.
No, he's not.
He's not biologically an octopus, and he's not biologically a rhino.
He's just called Doc Ock because he has an extra 4 robotic arms. It is entirely the number of arms.
And Otto Octavius, I mean, with a name like that, yeah. But I'm pretty sure that they reverse engineered his name from what they want him to do.
Can I just say, I'm a big fan of Into the Spider-Verse, and I loved that version of Doc Ock.
Oh, Octavia.
Olivia Octavius.
Olivia, which she is in the Spider-Man set. The female Dr. Octopus is in there. So
good, because she's cool.
She's an all-right commander. But
she's such a cool character. I love her design. I love her implied, hang on, just how good of friends was she with Aunt May again? And
they were roommates. So Rhino, Terrible Trampler. I'm thinking I might put him like at the bottom of Super. because his effect isn't crazy. It's just an enters trigger, but he is above curve in that he's a 7/6 for 6. He's got trample. He destroys an artifact or land.
Land destruction,
Oof.
that's big
Oof.
stuff.
6 mana would be slow in any other color but green. No, it's not slow in green.
Green loves that ramp.
Yep. +1/+1 counters. Very well supported archetype in green. And then giving them trample is also great. I mean, the only thing that you would really want to have more than this is if it didn't just say when he enters. So
Yes.
if you could like loop him somehow. But green doesn't really do flickering. Green doesn't really do reanimating-ish. Your best bet on this is actually just to like turn him sideways a couple of times until it doesn't work and he dies, and then recast him and do it again, because you'll probably have the mana at that point. So this seems like a solid +1/+1 counter deck commander, and just keep in mind that whatever artifact you blow up should be, or land, should be the one that most impacts your ability to play. So if someone has like a Maze of Ith,
Get rid of it.
yeah, whenever it loads here, yeah, because this can prevent the damage from one creature. You want to be blowing that up. If someone has a Glacial Chasm, these are the two like most frustrating lands for a mono green deck.
When in doubt, go after the command tower.
Well, I mean, Command Tower just makes mana. I'm saying you want to keep an eye out for these things, where it's like creatures can't attack, prevent all damage would be dealt to you. Or keep an eye out for artifacts that are like...
My point is, if you can't target if you don't have a good artifact to target, then you want to go for the most versatile mana sources.
Sure, that's your plan B or C with that effect. But if you see any artifacts or lands like this, that's where it's critical.
Yes.
So don't miss those things.
The meek shall inherit the earth, after all. Don't let it happen to you.
Okay, so next we go on to the man, the myth, the legend, the meme himself, Sauron, Dino Devotee.
I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
We're all out here saying that. If you could tell us what he actually does.
For 3 mana and 2 green, you get a 4/4 dinosaur vampire villain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He has flying.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Sauron enters or attacks, choose one. You can cure cancer, where you gain 3 life, or you can turn people into dinosaurs, where you put a Saurian counter on another target creature. It's a green dinosaur with base power and toughness 5/5 for as long as it has the counter.
Honestly,
turn people into dinosaurs, man.
Yeah, honestly, I want to say this is one of the most perfectly designed Magic cards ever. It nails the flavor from the top down. It is an effective card. It is fun. It is funny. And yeah, he's going straight up here. All the way to my hero. I know that it's a little basic at this point to be like, oh, I think that, the meme card is good. Well, you know what? It is good.
It's a good meme.
Okay, I mean, first off, we're talking about a 5 mana 4/4 flyer in green, which is not known for having good flyers. I would say that the best flyer in green's history is probably old Gnawbones. Old Gnawbone? There it is. Why don't you read that one for us?
How many tongues that thing got?
Plenty.
Okay, we've got a 7/7 dragon with flying. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens.
So this card's insane. I mean, you cast it and then you hit with the creatures that you already had been building up for turns. You get a whole bunch of treasures, and then you kind of can't lose the game at that point, because you can cast everything, and then what the hell? The Ancient Green Dragon, Cloudgiliamatar, sure, is often seen with a mangled corpse dangling from her mouth. Oh?
Not this time.
One tongue, and those are legs.
Oh!
Under the tongue. Okay. Anyway, I don't want to get too distracted here with old Gnawbone. I'm just saying that this is one of the only other green flying cards of all time that is really good. It's arguably the best, and Sauron's probably the second best ever. Because it does also have the when it enters or attacks, you can gain 3 life, which is hardly anything, or you can make another creature into a 5/5 dinosaur, which is great. I mean, you probably are ramping into this guy with your Llanowar elves and your mystic elves and your elves of elfness.
Turn your elves into dinosaurs!
Yeah!
I want to see a movie where elves get turned into dinosaurs now. That'd be funny.
I think it's an episode of the 90s Spider-Man TV show. Because I believe that Sauron does show up in that show for some episode where he's doing the whole I'm turning people into dinosaurs. And if I remember right, he was a vampire, but he learns how to do gene splicing. And when he's got gene splicing at his disposal, he's like, I'm gonna be a dinosaur. That would be rad as hell, right? I've seen Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. I'm gonna be a dinosaur.
What a scaly icon.
That guy over there, Stegron. I'm gonna turn him into a dinosaur. He loves it. I'm gonna turn more people into dinosaurs. By the way, Stegron is a magic card. He's already a guy. And look at all these other people who are also dinosaurs now.
Did we already do this guy?
Yes, he's
Okay.
from Marvel Superman, and Spider-Man, and he was reprinted in the Commander, this stuff. So, but in any case, very powerful. So much so that I saw Tulok the Cardbarian. That's a YouTube shout out, one of my favorite channels. When he was doing the version of this video that we're doing, where he's reviewing all the commanders. He mentioned, boy, it would be funny if you just built a deck where you chose the obviously worse gain 3 life every turn, and maybe built a mono green life gain deck out of this. And I thought it was funny, and I started brainstorming it, and I put a couple hours into it, and then the next day he uploaded a video that was Sauron Cures Cancer, and it was a deck tech, and he's just really funny, so he beat me to the punch. But you can do it, and it's still kind of good. Or you can turn your elves into dinosaurs and win the game. So, incredible. Incredible. Love it. We have to go on, though. We have to keep going. And the next one on our list is Scarlet Witch Wanda Maximoff.
That is some lovely art.
Oh, yeah. We got, Scott M. Fisher. He's one of my favorites. Well, what does she do?
For 2 mana and a red, you get a 2/3 mutant warlock hero with Menace.
And that's it. That's the whole thing.
Wanda, I'm sorry for what we were about to do. Oh, she's a tutorial card. That explains it.
Yeah, she is from the red tutorial deck. So, if you're playing a mutant deck, there's a small chance she might make the cut. If you're playing a warlock deck, or even a hero deck, if it's mono red, if it's just 2 colors, there's a small chance she might make the cut. But it's small. She's going next to her brother. Because there's no way. There's no way. Oh well. But hey, I mean, that's what a lot of these cards are for, introductory level play. They would not be legendary in any other world. They just are because of Marvel stuff.
It's okay for them to be what they are. We're just judging them by commander standards.
Yep. Shang-Chi, Martial Mentor.
Here they are doing their best, I'll make a man out of you.
Oh, yeah, okay, on the right, that's Iron Fist. On the left, that's Luke Cage. And behind him, I think, is Jessica Jones.
Neat.
I think they are the heroes for hire.
All right, for 3 mana and 2 green, you get a 4/4 human warrior hero. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, twice that many counters are put on that creature instead. And Shang-Chi's power-up is, it costs 5 and 2 green, and you put 3 1/1 counters on Shang-Chi.
So I'm torn here. This guy's either an okay commander or an awesome card in the 99. Because he's effectively a doubling season or a hardened scales. What?
Scaleds.
Found it. Okay. So this anyone who's playing a +1/+1 counter themed deck is going to be playing Hardened Scales probably because it just costs 1, and it says if you're making one of these counters, you actually make 2. Shang-Chi does something similar to that, except he doesn't say if you would make 1, you make 2. He says if you would make 1, you make double, which is 2. If you would make 2, you make 4. You would make 3, you make 6. So actually, when he says put 3 +1/+1 counters on Shang-Chi, he means 6. He becomes a 10/10.
Yep.
Now, mono green will hold you back a little bit. He doesn't have trample. He doesn't have a defensive ability like ward or hexproof. Coming out on turn 5 is a little late for this effect, although that is the cost of doubling season. So I would say that if your deck is playing Hardened Scales, it might want to be playing Shang-Chi as well. Also, we've described a power-up deck before where I think the best commander is that one Hulk that is red and green and cares about power-up.
Yeah.
This is really good in that because all power-up abilities do put +1/+1 counters on your creatures, and he has one. So I'm thinking he's really good in the 99. Like, really good. Like, the best sidekick. I'm a little hesitant on him as a mono-green commander because he's not drawing you cards, he's not doing removal, he comes out on turn 5. No defense, no haste, no trample. He lacks a lot of things, but he is a piece in the machine that you really want for a lot of decks. So, better in the 99, but still quite good. And the next on our list is She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Hell yeah!
we enjoyed that show. We are the opposite of She-Hulk haters.
I love that show.
Yeah, and I love this art too. But what does she do?
For 2 mana and a hybrid green-white, you get a 3/3 Gamma Advisor hero with Vigilance. Her power-up, it costs 6 mana and a hybrid green-white, and you put a 1/1 counter on She-Hulk, then double the number of 1/1 counters on each creature you control.
Okay, so this is a bit similar to the Shang-Chi deck that we were just looking at because it does have an effect that like doubles the number of counters. Although the Shang-Chi one, they do work fairly differently because Shang-Chi is doubling your counters as you're placing them. She-Hulk is doubling your counters as one big boost late in the game based on however many counters were already out there. But a few other important things. She comes out much earlier than Shang-Chi. She is a 3-mana 3/3 with Vigilance. Vigilance is great on commanders, especially go tall commanders, because if you make her, super huge, you can still keep her as a blocker while turning her sideways to do combat damage. And she has access to 2 colors, which is huge. There aren't that many good power-up cards in white, but there are some good +1/+1 counter cards, and just you get a huge amount of versatility, great removal in white. Honestly, I think She-Hulk is a better commander than Shang-Chi, at least the one that we were talking about. And while 7 is a ton of mana, it is a late game play, and in green you can do it a couple turns faster than most colors. Also, in a weird way, you could even flicker her and then do her ability and then flicker her again.
White does have that flickering going on after all.
Yeah, in fact, that might be the way to go. So, Ephemerate. Classic, exile a creature you control, then return it to the battlefield, and then you can do it next turn once for free. Great. You can play that in here. And something that we haven't talked about in a lot of the power-up cards is that it says you activate each power-up ability once, but if the card leaves the battlefield, it forgets that you've done it. And you reduce the cost by her mana cost if she entered this turn. She doesn't care if she was cast this turn. She cares if she entered this turn. So that means if it's like turn 5, you've got a bunch of mana going, you could pay 7 mana to do her ability. Or you could use Ephemerate, flicker her out and back in, and now you can do her ability for the reduced cost. Where it would be 4 generic instead of 6 and a green-white hybrid. And then, if you flicker her again, she'll just keep on doubling the number of counters on your creatures.
Bidoof.
Yeah! So, honestly, I think this is a pretty good commander. I do think that she needs a little help from flickering and other creatures like that, but I'm going to put her way up here
Someday I'm
in
gonna
wild
live the
cards.
dream of making a lawyer deck.
Yeah, we
I
can
have
do it.
I have a problem.
In Magic, lawyers are usually considered advisors, and I think that that means that they are like your legal advisor.
Yep.
That works.
That is basically their job, to help their clients navigate the strange and difficult world of litigation.
Unfortunately, the most prevalent advisors in Magic are probably the persistent petitioners, where, yeah, you can mill somebody and you can tap 4 untapped advisors to mill somebody 12 cards, and then a deck can have any number of these.
Oh no.
And check out all the secret layer versions. Come on. Yes!
Pigeons?
Rapping pigeons!
Turkey?
Dia de los Muertos,
Mark,
Cyberpunk.
Mark Chagall, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know what the turkey. Okay, some like Alice in Wonderland shenanigans. Some I don't know. Wait, literally a microphone and a guitar and a tambourine. Okay, and
A
then
band.
some like Picasso does Adventure Time stuff. I'm just saying these are the most prevalent advisors in Magic history, but there are lots of options. And let's move on. The next one on our list is She-Hulk Jennifer Walters, where she's like, "Get that garbage out of my way."
Mommy.
Oh Jesus, yes.
For 3 mana and a red, you get a 4/4 Gamma Berserker hero with trample. For 2 mana and a red, and sacrificing a land, you can draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on She-Hulk.
Can you read the flavor text?
Consider yourselves served.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Sounds like she had an annoying day at the office.
Yes. And hold on, her eyes. Oh my. She had a bad day.
Yeah, she did. Approach with a cinnamon bagel and a latte.
Yes.
And under no other circumstances.
Pretty much. So 4 mana 4/4 passes the vanilla test. Trample gives her flying colors, and 3 and sack a land. That's a pretty harsh cost, but draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on her is a pretty nice benefit. I mean, mono red in particular, struggles to draw cards. And it does that and gets her a counter to make her permanently bigger. Counters are relevant on her when she's already got trample. Okay, this might be a long shot here, but I think I'm going to put her near the bottom of wild cards, okay?
Okay.
Because she's not... I mean, okay, 3 mana and sack a land is pretty rough. Getting a counter occasionally is okay. Drawing cards... She's not a great commander, but you can work with this. If you look at this card and you're like, I must have that near me at all times.
Anyway.
You can. You can embrace her, okay? You gotta be playing Crucible.
You're probably going to get your spine realigned, but...
I can't spell Crucible, but that's okay. Crucible of Worlds. So you can play lands from your graveyard. You know?
Ooh.
So you can tap 3 mana, sack a land, and then play that land from the graveyard again. And then, keep doing that every turn. That's fine.
Also, can I say, I just love... I love She-Hulk's superhero outfit because I feel like it wasn't drawn purely for fan service or because she's the girl one. This looks like genuine, serious athletic wear.
It's absolutely athletic wear. There's no boob window. It shows off her arms in a way that is...
It gives her that sweet freedom of movement without feeling like she's wearing ridiculous décolletage.
Yeah, I think that's like not the male gaze out there. And
unless you're really into muscle mommies, and we're fine with that.
And she's also got kind of the shorts there, which I imagine that, powerful legs, you don't want to contain them too much. but they didn't go with like, a bikini cut or something.
And those gloves.
To protect your knuckles a bit. Even though she's super super strong, I'm sure she wouldn't want to be scuffing up your knuckles unnecessarily.
Yeah, this is definitely a superhero outfit, and it's but it's still definitely practical.
Yeah.
I like it.
You could probably do a deep dive and find more stuff about putting lands into your graveyard in red and bringing them back. I think that the tools are maybe out there. It would be awesome if this included green, but I think you could do it. So I still put her at the bottom of wild cards. And next on our list is Shuri, Vibranium Technologist. Okay. Lauren Brown is the artist on this one. Okay, it's not that bad. I thought that her face was looking a little scuffed from a distance here. Like, okay.
Oh yeah,
A little asymmetrical.
From a distance.
Distance, yeah. Oh well. In any case, what does she do?
For 2 mana and a hybrid white-blue, you get a 2/2 human artificer hero with vigilance. And when Shuri enters, choose one. You can create a 1/1 colorless robot hero artifact creature token with flying, or you can draw a card.
Okay, so a commander that's main ability is just an enters ability. I think I've said before that it needs to be super strong in order for it to be worth it.
And this ain't that.
This ain't that. However, a 2/2 with vigilance and an enters ability for 3 is okay. Drawing a card is a great enters ability. Making a 1/1 flying token is pretty good. And if only there were a way that we could reuse the enters abilities. Oh wait, blue and white are the 2 colors best at blinking creatures.
So you're going to want to put your focus on that in order to shore her up, which says wild card to me.
Yeah, wild card, or honestly, probably better in the 99, because, well, I mean, you could draw cards to replace the flickering that you're doing. It's a little bit spinning your wheels,
Yeah.
You could make a lot of game actions with not a lot of progress if she's your commander. You could make a whole bunch of, flying tokens, and you could play something like, I think it's Intangible Virtue, I think is the name of the card. Yeah, I quite like Intangible Virtue, if you could read that for us.
Creatures and tokens you control get 1/1 and have vigilance.
Well, creature tokens.
Glorp.
Yeah, so your creatures get +1/+1 if they're tokens.
I was distracted by the pretty artwork.
Oh yeah, I mean, Magic's going to do that to you often. As these are Geists from Innistrad, and that's the Church of Avacyn.
Are they literally lifting it? No, wait, their chains aren't connected.
They've got more of a
Guardian spirit vibe.
Oh, what's the hold on, I can think of it. Ebenezer Scrooge's former partner Joseph Marley?
Oh yeah, they're Marleys.
Yeah, they're kind of Marleys. They've got chains holding them down depending on like their sins in life kind of thing. Oh, wait. In life, they were a motley crew. Farmers, lords, cut purses, priests. In death, they are united in singular benevolent purpose. So, yeah, you could play some stuff like that and then make the robot hero artifact tokens with flying better. Or, is this a chance to use, I think it's Tempered Steel?
I keep reading Clint Searley's name wrong.
Clint Searley?
The artist for the last one we were on.
Okay.
The L and the I are too close together.
But you can see this one gives your artifact creatures +2/+2. This is one of the most efficient Anthem effects of all time. It is twice as powerful as most other Anthem effects for 3 mana, but only applies to artifact creatures. Shuri makes artifact creatures. So, with those things in mind, you play a deck that is full of robot tokens, that's full of flickering and full of anthems that apply to your robot tokens, and you might be able to make it work. So I think I am willing to put her in wildcard, probably around here, a little below the She-Hulk there. Just keep in mind that drawing a card is nice, but you're just kind of spinning your wheels. And you do want to make sure to include lots of things that are like enchantments that'll make you flicker, or you can play Wiccan. This one. when you cast a non-creature spell, flicker, basically. It's one of those slow flickers, but it's a repeatable flicker effect on one card. So look for those in, like, Mist Meadow Witch. Mist Meadow Witch.
Ooh, very Jim Henson. I love it.
Oh yeah, Shadowmoor is very much like Labyrinth coded or Dark Crystal coded. But yeah, 4 mana, you can flicker any creature at instant speed. So the more mana you have, the more you can do it. You can also flicker your opponent's creatures, like if they attack you or if they're creature tokens, they just disappear. So Mist Meadow Witch is fairly versatile, comes down on turn 2, so play some stuff like that, you can maybe make it work. Okay, next we have Silver Surfer.
Cosmic Voyager.
Okay. We just watched the Fantastic Four movie the other day, and there's a lady Silver Surfer. This is not him.
This is not her.
This is not her. This is him, not her. Whatever.
For 4 mana and 2 blue, you get a 5/5 alien hero with flash and flying.
Oh.
When Silver Surfer enters, exile any number of other target permanents you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. If a land enters this way, it enters tapped.
Oh. Okay, so...
This is... Enter, hello, I'm Teferi.
Yeah. Okay, so...
I'm not sure you can build a deck around that.
Well, okay, on the one hand, I've said before that if your commander's main thing is that it has an enters ability, it better be a powerful one. This is a pretty powerful one. You can exile your whole board and then return it at the end of the turn, so you can dodge a board wipe. You can actually, like... well, it returns your lands tapped, right? But you could, in theory, attack with a huge army and then flicker them out and back in so that your creatures are untapped.
I'm going to call him Silver Teferi.
Okay. He's a 6-mana 5/5 with flash and flying. That's kind of worth it. If this was just like a piece in your deck, then those stats would be pretty good on their own. And also, you can exile any number of other permanents you control. So you can just flicker the ones that you want to flicker and leave the ones that you don't. So very, very versatile. Redo all of your enters, triggers, and stuff. So is he good in the is he good as the commander in mono blue? It's hard to say.
I think not. I mean, and the thing that's tipping me off here is that is the flash keyword ability, because you want to save your flashes for the last minute. You want the element of surprise, and being a commander does not give you that.
So I've said that on a lot of cards, and I think that is broadly true. This effect is powerful enough that it could be an exception, because you can... of course, your opponents know that you will have this trick available to you at some point to flicker out all your stuff. But what are they going to do about it? Not board wipe when you're winning? Probably try to wait until you don't have 6 mana open.
Yeah.
But you're playing a blue deck. You should be playing your deck at instant speed anyway. They won't have an opportunity that you don't have the 6 mana open once you get to 6. And moreover, this big blink, it could do some pretty crazy stuff. You could have, what was it called? Arc Reactor? Nope, not Arc Reactor. Scratch that. How about Gilded Lotus? I think this is a deck where you play lots and lots of mana rocks. Okay? Like Gilded Lotus, where it taps for 3 mana. So you can use that to help cast Silver Surfer, blink the Lotus out. When it comes back in, it'll be untapped. You get your 3 mana back.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a lot of cards like that you could be playing. Gilded Lotus is one of the better ones, but there's a bunch.
Surf the galaxy, collect the rocks.
Yeah. So I think this is the exception to the normal flash in the command zone is bad, because you can build up a strategy around flickering your whole board once that ends up doing some big storm turn or something. The only other problem there is that you'll return them at the beginning of the next end step, so you won't have a main phase left. So I'm going to say that this is... Whoop, lost it. He's gone.
It's between Thanos and the
Oh,
that
there he is.
guy.
Thank you.
I can't see what that is.
Can't see him either. Okay. I think that this is kind of a questionable one. So maybe somewhere around like here. Could be very powerful.
I get the feeling somebody on the internet is going to create such a nasty deck combo for this guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, for all I know, there's a creature that then you flicker in, even in mono blue, that will blink him out again, and then it becomes every turn your stuff shows up, does some things, and then disappears, and they just keep blinking and blinking and blinking, and so there could be a combo deck out there, and I just haven't figured it out yet, and I'm not going to, but so I think that that puts him over the top. Otherwise, you could put him in an alien. No, there isn't an alien deck yet. A hero deck that includes blue, just as long as it's only like 2 colors, because if you've got access to 3, 4, 5 colors, you don't want to be playing this guy, I don't think. But yeah, very powerful. Whenever I've said in the past that if you mostly have an enters ability, it better be a powerful one, this is what I'm talking about. As we move on to Songbird. Hello, Songbird. Sonic Screamer. What does she do?
She looks cute.
Yes, she does.
For 1 mana and a black, you get a 2/1 human villain with lifelink. If you discard a card, Songbird gains flying until end of turn.
Okay, so at first glance, I think she's not that great. 2 mana for a 2/1, it fails the vanilla test. Lifelink probably makes up for it. Discarding a card to give flying until end of turn is okay. So I would put her, maybe in sidekicks or maybe at the bottom of wildcard or something. However, and Tulok actually gets credit on this one as well for showing me kind of the potential here. Discard a card as a cost for free is actually a really powerful effect.
And considering that black deck is probably going to go messing around in the graveyard a fair amount, that's practically a bonus.
Yeah, actually, because most of the time, if you have discard a card as a cost, it also costs like 1, or it says you can do it once per turn, or you can only do it at sorcery speed, or you have to tap, or, and this is uncapped. Sure, giving flying repeatedly isn't a big deal, but you can get your madness triggers, you can get your mayhem triggers, you can put your reanimation targets from your hand into your graveyard and then reanimate. All the while swinging in for a couple lifelink damage each turn and getting started on only turn 2 and having this effect in the command zone that early, that reliably. Yeah, actually, she is... where did I let her go at?
The bottom of wild card.
The bottom of wild card. She does not belong at the bottom of wild card. She belongs more around here.
In the upper part of wild card.
Yeah, I mean, just because Tulok was able to build an interesting deck around her doesn't mean that she's not a wild card. She absolutely is. Because, this doesn't come together as, a particularly powerful thing. But this effect is still up there with, Sacrifice a Creature as a quote-unquote drawback, but in black, being able to do that uncapped for free has a lot of potential upside. So yeah, she's got some synergy that make up for it enough that you could build a deck and have some fun. Alright, next on our list is Spider-Man Hometown Hero. Well, this is a common Spider-Man, so let's see.
For 4 mana and a red, you get a 5/4 Spider-Human Hero with Reach. And when Spider-Man enters, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. I see you're a tutorial Spooderman.
He sure is. Boop.
We all got to
right
start
down
somewhere.
in rejects. I do not understand why we have this card. I don't even love the art. I'm sorry, Thomas Chamberlain Keene.
It is a little too
weird.
something. I'm not sure what to say.
Okay, I understand that the city is upside down, but it's also exploding. But it's also smoky. But he's also shooting while upside down in multiple ways. I don't know. I don't love it. But Reach is a pretty weak ability for a commander. 5 mana, 5/4 fails the vanilla test, and Reach I don't think makes up for it. when he enters, he can make a small creature unblockable for 1 turn. Why?
And
Why
that's
is that
only an
here?
enter, so...
It's one of the weakest enters effects I've ever seen. It's entirely possible that you have nothing that this can target and only does it once. Terrible, terrible commander. And in the 99, there's no reason to play this.
Yeah.
You know what you should play instead of it is where's the tunnel guy? Where's the show? Goblin Tunneler. How about this? When target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn.
And he taps for it, and he counts.
He does it every turn, and he only costs 2. This guy does it once for 5. So, and yeah, you're right. That, like, if you're playing goblins, then you have a bunch of little guys like this. So 2 tunnelers could target each other or whatever. You're not going to have 2 tunnelers in commander, but, you know, whereas he can't help himself. I don't know what he's doing. A terrible card in commander.
Get your shit together, Spider-Man.
Next, we have Spider-Man New Champion, a.k.a. Cheeked Up.
Yep. Very cheeked.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and it's Miles Morales.
Yeah. Hence why it's more like electricity around his hand.
Gotcha.
What does he do?
Alright, for 2 mana and a red, you get a 3/3 Spider-Human hero with reach. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, Spidey deals that much damage to any target.
Oh my.
Discard
Okay.
do damage.
I'm not an Avenger. I'm not Peter. I'm just a kid in a mask doing the best I can. But I'll never give up on anyone that needs me. I'm Miles Morales, and I'm Spider-Man. Alright, cool. Good
Hell
for
yeah.
you, dude. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, deal that much damage. So it's dealing damage equal to the number of cards discarded. If only Red had ways of discarding cards a lot.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait. There's Wheel of Fortune. There's also Wheel of Fortune attached to a Jackal. There's also Wheel of Misfortune, where you gotta, like, make up some numbers and play a little game that nobody knows how to play. But at the end of the day, somebody's likely gonna, probably multiple people are gonna discard their hand and draw 7. There's like a dozen or more cards out there that do this in different shenanigansy ways. Not to mention that a lot of those cards could have Mayhem or Madness. And
There's stuff you can do with this.
you can be playing, what's the Buccaneer? Is it Glinthorn Buccaneer? Yeah, that guy. Whenever you discard a card, Glinthorn Buccaneer deals 1 damage to each opponent.
I did not know I needed to see a Minotaur pirate, but here we are.
Oh yeah, you need to see him. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. There. Now you've seen him. Oh, he's not wearing a breastplate.
Nope, he just looked like that.
Yeah. Interesting, like, stippling pattern around, the white markings on his chest. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got some coins hanging from his horns because of successful raids he's done. Yeah, Glinthorn Buccaneer, pretty cool card.
Fun fact, a pirate's earring was actually his insurance policy.
Oh!
If you died at sea, that was going to pay for your funeral. That was going to, or maybe it would be sent to your or maybe it would be sent to your family. Like I said, it was your insurance policy.
Okay. Well, I think that you can probably find enough cards with Glinthorn Buccaneer being one of the best to really get a lot of payoff off of discarding cards to do damage. And that's to any target. So yeah, you can hit planeswalkers, you can hit creatures, you can hit battles of all things. I don't see battles very often. And you can hit your opponent in the face. He needs a lot of help, though. He needs a lot of help. You do have to go out of your way to do this.
He needs a lot of help, but not on leg day.
Oh, no, and he's been working out his glutes like crazy, so he can get in all those weird poses. Look, his other leg is here. That's at 1 foot, that's the other foot.
That's a high
Okay.
kick is what that is.
Yeah. And I assume that that's how you, like, shift directions in midair, is by, like...
Oh, it's a flip then.
Yeah, or maybe that's, like, how he ended up pointing straight down. Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
As we move on to Spider-Man Web Spinner. Okay. Oh, it's a mythic rare. That could be good. Let's see.
Is it bad that for half a second I thought he was a A Macy's Day parade balloon.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, this is
totally
good artwork.
is.
I just saw it for a second and I couldn't unsee
No,
it.
you're totally right, though.
For 3 mana and a red, you get a 2/3 spider human hero with double strike and haste.
Oh.
And whenever Spider-Man attacks, target creature can't block.
Okay, so I mean we're dealing with a bit of keyword glut in a way that it's not particularly interesting when you just throw a couple of keywords on a creature, but there's some pretty good ones. Haste is great that one time. Any commander that wants to attack, it's great to have haste on it so that you don't have to wait around a turn. And he wants to attack because double strike and shut off one blocker. A repeated shut off one blocker, by the way, is more powerful than you might think.
Ooh, yeah.
Because lots of people have like one good blocker and then like maybe other bad ones. You shut off the good one. Double strike is powerful for all kinds of things. You know what I like putting on double strike commanders? Sword of something and something else. Okay, it came up with a lot more results than I expected, but Sword of Feast and Famine is the
Fire
classic.
and Ice, Forge and Frontier, Hearth and Home, Body and Mind,
Cats and dogs living together.
Mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Enough, I get the point.
So Sword of Feast and Famine and Fire and Ice are the two best ones by far. This one allows you to untap all your lands. With Double Strike, you get to untap all your lands twice. Keeping in mind that you can float the mana in between, but you have to spend that mana before moving on to the next step. So if you've got some instants or some activated abilities, you can use the double mana, but otherwise it doesn't do the thing twice in a meaningful way. But they will have to discard 2 cards. You'll also, of course, adding more power onto a double striker is like adding double what it says in power to that double striker. And when you get to effects like Sword of Fire and Ice, when it hits a player, you shock a target and draw a card. And with Double Strike, you shock another target and you draw another card. It's sick. And honestly, do consider other Swords of Blank and Blank, because they all have some neat abilities. Maybe you want to gain 6 life and reanimate 2 creatures. Maybe you want to blow up 2 artifacts. I don't know you. Consider them. Any red equipment, or maybe even auras that say, like, when this creature deals combat damage to a player, do a thing, are going to be great. Just, this last ability is the closest thing that he has to evasion. Plenty of people are going to be scared of Double Strike and not want to block, but do keep an eye out for equipment that'll give Menace, or Trample, or, well, protection from a color can be evasion as well. But I think this guy is not the most interesting, but he's quite powerful. I think I have to put him up in Super, but I'm going to once again put him low down on the Super.
See you in November, buddy.
November? Okay. And I'm going to move on to Stature. Young Avenger. That is Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie.
Alright. For 1 mana and a hybrid red-green mana, you get a 2/2 human hero with Reach. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Stature has base power and toughness 4/4 until end of turn.
Okay, so that's a good start. But that's it.
Yep.
She kind of grows a bit bigger temporarily. If you jump through a tiny hoop, it's not that much to ask for.
But that's kind of all she's got.
Yeah. No evasion, no card draw, no ramp, no removal. She's not a good finisher. 2 mana 2/2 as a commander in 2 colors does put you off to a good start. The ability to get bigger is cool, except it caps. It only makes her a 4/4.
She's basically good in the beginning and nowhere else.
Yeah, she'll be great on turn 3, and she gets worse every turn after that.
Sidekick. I'm calling it.
Well, but is she even good in the 99 then? What does she do for you? In the 99, I don't really see it. Having a like 4/4 reach for 2, even if that was happening all the time, would not be that exciting past turn 3. The only thing that makes it exciting as a commander is the fact that 21 is the threshold for commander damage instead of 40. Take that away, and it's honestly kind of worse. And human isn't. She's not going to be lending meaningfully to the human or hero archetype. So honestly, I think she goes near the top of rejects.
Oof.
And that she's not a terrible card, but she doesn't have a purpose in Commander. Because this doesn't scale. I don't see any way that this scales anyway. If this said +2/+2 until end of turn, then we'd be talking. Then
we'd be able to get somewhere. But here, even if you do put a bunch of counters on her, her power and tough, after you cast a non-creature spell, her power and toughness is going to go right to 4/4.
And then stick there. So that's unfortunate. As we move on to Stick, Fearless Mentor.
Also an asshole.
Now you have met this asshole. I am kind of glad that we got to finish the Daredevil TV show before getting to some cards like this, because now you know who this jerk is.
For 1 mana and a red, you get a 2/1 human monk hero with first strike. Whenever a source you control deals damage to you, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn. This ability triggers only once each turn.
That's not bad. I mean, 2 mana for a 2/1 first striker is pretty relevant, because when you've got first strike, your toughness doesn't matter as much. Because you want to get into fights where you will win and your opponent won't deal damage back to you. But that's going to wear out pretty quick. You could try putting some auras and equipment on him, but starting off as a 2 mana commander in mono red, I don't think that's worth it.
Nor.
And then when you get hit, you get to exile a card, doing the whole impulse draw thing, and you do get to play it until the end of your next turn. So even if it's someone attacking you, you get hit, you exile it, you have, at least one full actual turn to try to play it. But the ability triggers only once each turn, so you can't build up like a huge number. You could build up to 3, maybe even 4 cards like that, because it can trigger on each opponent's combat when they attack you.
Actually, no, it wouldn't. It's only whenever a source you control deals damage to you.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, I'm glad that you corrected me on that, because I was thinking whenever, you are dealt damage. No, a source you control. So we're looking at things like Char. Where's Char? Oh, no. Ah, Char. If you could read that.
Char deals 4 damage to target creature or player and 2 damage to you, and it's an instant, so you can only pull that once.
Yes. But you can pull that on an opponent's turn, and it'll trigger. If you had, 4 copies of Char in your deck, which you can't, but if you have 4 cards like Char, you could hurt yourself on your turn and on each of your opponent's turns, and it would still stack up a bunch of cards, because it can only trigger once per turn, but you've done that. However, you can't cast all of those. If you build up 4 cards with Stick, you can't cast all of those. Also, a deck like this, if you're hurting yourself, you need to find some red life gain. And I think I've shown before a Dragon Claw, where whenever anyone casts a red spell, you can gain 1 life.
Cast red, gain life.
Yeah, that might be worth doing. Same thing with Staff of the Fire Magus. Flame Magus, that's right, we looked it up. Because really what he's best at is being in the 99 of a Daredevil deck. Specifically this Daredevil that's about hurting yourself. He's way stronger.
At least we get to see little baby Matt Murdock.
I know, that is kind of fun. So I'm going to put him in the middle of wild cards. He's clearly at his best in that Daredevil deck. And next thing is Storm. Oh, I'm actually looking for... Not you. There. Storm, Shaker of Skies. I'm actually looking for this card.
For 4 mana and 2 green, you get a 4/3 mutant hero with flying. When Storm enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying.
Yeah, so I think I've mentioned before that I have a green-blue mutant deck that I'm trying to soup up. It doesn't have as much flying as you might expect, considering I'm playing blue. So having her in there might be kind of nice. Getting counters on her is going to be pretty easy. And destroying an artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, I mean, the green-blue deck is having a hard time destroying stuff, especially when I'm trying to put so many of my slots into being mutants that I'm not putting as many into, like, Naturalize and Croson Grip and stuff like that. So, this is kind of great. 6 mana is too much. I would love if this were 5 mana for a 3/3, or even less, maybe 4 mana for a 2/2. But no, Storm is too strong to be held back like that. She's lightning bolting people and stuff. So, she's not a good commander, though, let's be real.
Not this one, anyway.
But she's probably around here in terms of sidekicks. I'll play her in my mutant deck. You might want to play her in a mono green deck that wants more flying, or maybe, okay, green black sometimes has a hard time destroying artifacts and enchantments. Same thing with green blue. But white's good at destroying artifacts or enchantments. Red's good at destroying artifacts. So, yeah, she has some place in the sidekicks. But
And we've finally made it out of the S's.
yep, we're on to Thanos, Death's Consort from the Scene Box.
He wishes.
Oh yeah, he wants to be.
She keeps swiping left, though. She swipes left on him and right on Deadpool.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Death in the Marvel comics is like a skeleton wearing a hood, like wearing a hooded robe that has kind of a figure on it. And he's like, this is the hottest thing I've ever seen.
And she's like, Deadpool's the hottest thing I've ever seen.
Because he like kind of dies and comes back all the time. He's like a total, first off, he's silly. And
Yes.
Death's like, actually, I kind of like silly.
Like, I could use him silly. Most people, when they come here, are really sad. I mean, understandably, but...
But Daredevil literally and figuratively
Deadpool.
flirts... Deadpool literally and figuratively flirts with death.
It's just who he is.
Now, Thanos, though.
For 2 mana and 2 black, you get a 3/3 Eternal Villain with lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, put a 1/1 counter on Thanos. Kill stuff, get big.
So...
And lifelink.
So... The Scene Box cards tend to be a little on the simple side. But this is still kind of powerful. Another creature dying happens fairly often. Mono Black is pretty good at it. Lifelink, is quite strong. I want to compare him, though, to somebody like Super Shredder. Okay? Super Shredder has been tearing it up for the last few months.
I see that, what was that guy's name?
Hamato Yoshi?
Cletus Cassidy. I see
Cletus Cassidy! Okay.
I see that Cletus Cassidy found a new host.
Oh, yeah.
Or rather, Carnage found a new host.
So, 2 mana for a 1/1 menace. Whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder.
I should have thought of that harder. That came out weird.
Okay. Well, so whenever another creature dies, will always trigger whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield. But this triggers so many more things. So this thing gets counters like crazy. Plus it has Menace, which is an evasion ability. Not the best evasion ability, but it is one. Versus Lifelink, where he's likely going to be chump blocked till the end of days. He also kind of compares unfavorably to, oh boy, Crick. God, that's not going to be it, is it? It is! Crick is a lifelink creature who also gets +1/+1 counters to get big. However, he allows you to spend life instead of black mana on all of your spells.
Phyrexian mana, baby.
Because I believe he believes himself to be the son of Yawgmoth. It's not literally true, but he fashions himself that way. He tells people that he is. And then later, like, there's a moment where, like, Yawgmoth's like, I ain't yo daddy. And he's like, no! And he's defeated.
I'm not surprised. This guy is kind of giving a wannabe.
Yeah, on the other hand, hold on. Post, Son of Rich. This is Post Malone. We did a Post Malone secret... Sorry, we did 2 Post Malone secret layers. And Carrick is one of Post Malone's favorite commanders. So, yeah. And I guess Rick is actually Post Malone's real dad's name. Or Rich is his real dad's name. Anyway, so he compares kind of unfavorably to those two, but those two are incredible mono black commanders. This guy, not bad. In fact, I think if the standard for wild cards is that you have to kind of go out of your way to make them work, you don't. You don't. He's like probably around here. He's super. He's very strong. You're gonna kill creatures. You're gonna gain some life. But it's not the most exciting thing in the world, that's for sure. Not particularly interesting. Oh boy, it's
Fabulous
time
Frogman.
for the Fabulous Frogman, which was in the She-Hulk series. Do you remember the episode where he showed up?
Dimly. What was his deal again?
He's a Nepo baby. He's got a
Oh.
bunch of money from his
no.
dad that means that he wants to go fight crime, and so he's building this suit of, like, springs in the heels and stuff. He doesn't have powers. He just wants to, like, do some vigilanteism, and he thinks that he's smart, but he's not. He's got the incredible supercomputer that his dad paid for, but he doesn't know how to use it very well.
Oh, the irony.
He's got like the frog car or something. He is like the dream of the 60s superhero comic book fan.
He's like the parody of that dream.
Yep, and he's not that good at it.
Well, yeah, that's the joke.
Yep.
For 2 mana and a green, you get a 3/3 human hero with reach. Again, we could probably guess from the outfit.
I'm gonna make my dad so proud.
Reject.
Yep. 100%. 100%. He's probably around like here. You know, technically you've got some vanilla creatures that are genuinely worse, but no, he's bad. And he's not a frog, by the way, because he doesn't have frog DNA. He just
dresses like one because that's his...
Getting a spring on his
That's his
foot
Sona.
kind of worked for like superhero mobility, kind of. It was the best he could do. Next we have the Falcon, who is Sam Wilson. Okay.
For 4 mana and a white, we get a 3/3 human hero with flying, and when the Falcon enters, put a 1/1 counter on each other creature you control.
Huh. That's not that strong. Okay. I have kind of a snap decision on this guy. I think he goes in sidekicks and kind of low down on sidekicks, like around here. Because I think where this is at its best is in one of those Flicker style decks I've been talking about.
Yep. He is a
3/3
tutorial card.
Oh, that makes sense. A 3/3 flyer is okay. 5 mana is a little more than you'd like to be paying. Putting +1/+1 counters on each other creature you control could be great if you're going wide. Just flicker him so you can keep putting counters on all your creatures over and over again, and then it's worthwhile. But don't play mono white for him. And next we have the Fantastic Four, all together on one card.
Richards is elastic, Sue can fade from sight. Johnny is the human touch, the thing just loves to fight. Okay, I'll stop.
Was there a TV show?
Yep.
Okay, I never watched that one.
Neither did I. I just
I'm
heard
unfamiliar.
it. I watched a lot of AMV Hell, and that was one of the songs that came up, and
Gotcha.
and I now know the lyrics to it, and I'm upset.
Okay. Well, what do they do?
For a red, a green, a white, and a blue, you get a 4/4 human hero. When the Fantastic Four enter, and whenever you cast a spell with power, toughness, or mana value 4, choose one that hasn't been done this turn. Create a 0/4 wall creature token with Defender. The Fantastic Four deal 3 damage to each opponent. Put 2 1/1 counters on target creature, or draw a card. I love how on flavor we are with this. It's fun. It is a 4-color commander, which is a little bit tricky because, well, 4-color commanders are just always a bit tricky.
Yeah, but one of them is green, so you can always make it work. Usually if you've got 3+ colors and you include green, I'll lean a little bit more into the green so that you get your Kodama's Reach, your Cultivates, your Birds of Paradise, stuff like that.
And there's something interesting going on here because in order to make this commander most effective, we're not focusing on type, we're not focusing on strength or toughness, we're focusing strictly on the number 4.
So we are focusing on strength in the terms of power and toughness and mana value,
Okay,
all
but
being 4. I get what you're saying. We don't just want the most of it, we want the number 4. So when it comes to ramp, we could be playing things like reconnaissance. Wait, no, that's not what it's called. It's called, shoot. Now I'm not thinking of it. It's not recon something, is it? It's not deep reconnaissance. Okay, well, reconnaissance mission is an okay card, but no, I'm not thinking of it. Okay, explosive veggies. This was a Commander staple when Commander was new, where you just search for 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield tapped. Because you're playing green, you go get your plains and your mountain, and you're almost there. Nowadays, though, this has been power crept by like 5 other cards. So don't play Explosive Vegetation. Play one of the 5 other cards that's like it. One of them, I think, just is this, but has cycling. So do that. But the key thing is 4 mana cost. Okay? You can play, was it Crystalline Crawler? Yay!
Woo!
Costs 4. This creature enters with a +1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. So if you're already there, then it enters with 4 counters on it, and if you're not, it enters with 1 or 2. And then you can remove a counter from it to add 1 mana of any color. You can do that immediately, and you can tap to put more counters on it.
There's probably enough 4s to go around to make the Fantastic Four as a commander extremely viable. You could probably do a lot with it.
You know what? There.
Challenge accepted, I take it.
Yeah, this looks pretty fun. I think the trick is going to be finding things for not 4 mana that will trigger this. Like, you know, your ramp ideally isn't conflicting with the Fantastic Four. You want to be playing something on turn 2 that will ramp you into them on turn 3. And there's lots of options from classics like Farseek, you know, where that's even them. Where you can go get a land, put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you're playing dual lands or triple lands, then it can get whatever colors you need. And then you're going to be ready for them on turn 3. But this doesn't have the number 4 on it anywhere that matters. So get it in the early game, awesome. Get it in the late game, it's okay. So I think you want to start doing some deep dives for creatures with 4 toughness. Because it still only triggers when you cast a spell. So, you know, I think I'm going to do one more quick search here, because I think I actually want to make this the last card that we cover today. And then there'll be one more part to finish things off, because we're almost out of time. But if we're going white, blue, red, green, and I want to see if they have, 4, not as the mana value, but as their toughness. And I want to see what is how about the lowest mana value? This should be an interesting kind of search. So, okay, I need to specify legal in Commander, I guess, because these things are not legal Commander cards. They're silver bordered after all. So let's go format legal in Commander. Try it again. Okay. You probably don't want to play Armored Armadillo or Bushi Tenderfoot for that matter. This one doesn't even count, actually, because the bottom half of this card isn't considered to, like, exist until it's transformed, so forget that. But there's gotta be something in here. This also, I think, doesn't count, because it doesn't have power or toughness 4 until it's reached this stage. Yeah, I don't know. You're going to be doing probably a lot of searches like this.
This one's going to take research to make it work.
Oh, yeah. Turtle Duck?
Turtle Duck?
Until end of turn, this creature has base power 4 and gains trample. Well, that's charming. Don't do it. But Wall of Runes, that might not be bad. As a early game, I'm going to have a blocker on turn 1. Scrying will help, and then if you play it later, it'll trigger the family. But still, maybe not. Must be at least this good to consider, I think. Although that is a really fancy dromedary. So do your research. I think that 4 toughness is going to be the easiest to achieve without spending 4 mana. But otherwise, spending 4 mana, you better be able to do it a lot. And I think that this deck could be very fun, because walls will protect you, of course. That will help kill your opponents. +1 counters on creatures. There's a million ways that can be useful. That's a permanent buff. Drawing cards is one of the best things in Magic. So this can kind of do it all. You just need to cast things that say 4 on it. Excellent.
Have fun.
So, we are leaving off with a few more to do, sure, but I think
so
that this
close.
will be... I think we can finish out the list in the next sitting, okay?
Yep.
We'll try to finish out the whole list in the next sitting. But for now, we've got a couple more added to the top there, a couple more strong ones, and we got a nice little bell curve going on. So I hope you've enjoyed chatting with us again, reviewing some of the new commanders, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.